In this video, I'm going to share with you how I edit my videos, my content. I got this question recently and I've gotten it before. So this is the second time I'm like, okay, let's make a YouTube video. In case you're new around here, I am not a videographer. I have not gotten any certification to be a videographer. I'm not a photographer. I'm none of that. I am actually a registered nurse with 12 years of healthcare experience who also is a content creator that shares health and wellness tips online so that women can live their healthiest lives possible. So, with that being said, I have just had to make it shake, if you will, because I am allocating my resources to other things at this time. And I could delegate editing because that's something people cannot stand. I could delegate that to somebody else that's their zone of genius. But at this time, I have chosen to learn how to do it. So let's get into the apps that I use as well as the equipment. And before you be like, okay, what do I gotta buy? You don't need to buy anything. You actually just need to hit the record button on the phone that you're watching me on. That's really what you got to do. But I know how y'all stay. You want to be like, well, I just need to know this, that, right? So the first tool that I use, because I'm like, I don't want to stall too long because you probably already clicked away. But if you haven't, make sure you like this video and subscribe. So the first app that I use to edit content is Capcut. I love Capcut. I know that there are other editing softwares out there. I have used iMovie in the past. So let me also give context. I have been creating content now for 5 years because it's been 5 years since I started my business. That's when I started to learn how to edit, because when I first started, which was 5 years ago, my business, Lesline Does Wellness, where I show women how to put themselves first through yoga, I did pre-recorded yoga videos here online. I actually have a whole virtual yoga studio that you can check out down below at your leisure, right? So I had to learn how to set up the camera so that you can see my body in its entirety so that you could safely perform the yoga poses in the comfort of your home, right? So I have that experience, and before I wanted to invest into anything, I was like, okay, let me use what I have. And if you don't get anything else out of this video, I want you to know that you need to use what you have, because once you start buying and downloading all these apps, you're going to get overwhelmed. If you're anything like me, you're going to get overwhelmed, right? So iMovie was the first thing I used. So if you're like, girl, I don't want to use CapCut, whatever, for whatever reason, iMovie. Okay, I didn't even have that on my paper, but I'm like, I want to share with you the journey of my beginnings and where we are now. So I used iMovie, used that for a little bit. And then once, maybe 3 years now, 2 years ago, actually, I started to like really take content creation seriously. And I realized that I like being on camera. I like it. And as I'm learning content creation, I'm learning what catches people's attention. I forget who said this, but it's like, pay attention to what catches your attention online, and you, I don't want to say mimic, but I use that as inspiration. So when I watch a video now, I'm not just consuming it for the sake of consuming, I'm researching. And what I mean by that is this: I'll scroll, which but if I'm scrolling, words. As I'm scrolling, and if I notice that something stops the scroll, I'm like, what was it? Was it the font? Was it how crisp the camera was? Was it that it was a black girl like me? I was like, call thing a thing if you look like me. And my kids, it's so funny. It's a little tangent, but sometimes my kids, are seeing what I'm scrolling through, and they're like, "Is that you, mommy?" Because it's just like another black girl. It's funny, it's cute, and it's funny. So just notice. That's a tip. Notice what stops your scroll, and if it's not a lot of edits, then you should edit like that, because the thing with creating content is you want to attract the people that you would genuinely want to rock with, that you would genuinely want to, get dinner with, grab a cup of coffee, go shoot the shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if you mimic the people that are like way ahead of you, it's not gonna feel right. So that's just a little tip. But CapCut I really enjoy because it has all the bells and whistles, and I actually pay for the yearly subscription. At time of recording, let me tell you what the yearly subscription is, which I just go into settings on my phone to find this information. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it right now. I be doing this, y'all. Where is it? Subscriptions. I want to say, and I feel like the price jumped. It's 180. It's 180 for the year. And honestly, and what's really cool is that I have CapCut on my phone, and I also have it on my computer. One of my friends, she prefers to do all her edits on her computer, and she'll even use her iPad. For me, when I edit, I actually prefer to do it on my phone. I guess it's a Gen Z trait. I'm young. No, I'm 34, but I like to do a lot of my editing on the phone, because also when I do it on the phone, I know that's where a lot of my people are watching, is on their phone. So I feel like it's just easier to, like, even though it's small, but it's like, okay, this is how it's going to look on the phone, because I feel like on the computer it looks different. But it is nice that once you make one account, you can, at time of recording, which is July, what day are we? July 23rd, 2026, you can go back and forth with your phone. And actually, do I have? Yeah, you should be able to. Some of my projects, though, I have to figure. That's what I'm saying. CapCut is like, it's very advanced. I just use like the basic of features, but I do have the pro package. So that includes sound effects. That includes different texts that you'll see on the screen. That includes, like, it automatically saves the project. What else do I really just use CapCut for. Also the zoom, I'd be doing the zoom effect now. A friend of mine was like, oh, I see you with that zoom effect. I'd be doing that. So like those are the three areas I be in CapCut, is the video effect, which that's where the zoom effect is found, the text, so the text templates, because at time of recording, that was something else. Remember I said earlier, notice what stops the scroll for you. I've been noticing the girls that I like to follow, they're not just doing captions anymore. They're changing the caption, how it looks. So say it's like Arial 14 point font, right? I'm pointing as if the captions are going to be here, but I'm probably not going to have captions. But you can have your auto captions if you need them. But say that's Arial 12 point font is up here. You can change if you want certain things to be highlighted, bolded in a different font, because I forget the video I watched that explained this, but because people's attention is shitty, right? So, and a lot of people watch videos on mute because they're either watching it at work when they're not supposed to, or they're in the bathroom. You think about where you watch content, right? Or your husband is sleeping next to you and you don't want to disturb him, so you have on mute. So you're looking at the text. So if the text changes, that resets the attention span. Okay. So that's CapCut. I'm trying to see if there's anything else within CapCut because I'm actually gonna be editing a video. I'm not that advanced, y'all, because I could show you my editing process. If you're also wondering too, like, how long does it take you, Leslie, to edit a video? Oh, I should have timed myself. The last time I was kind of a little more aware. It could take me, it depends on if I want to put all the bells and whistles, 30 minutes to an hour. An hour is pushing it, but 30 minutes if I'm doing a short form piece of content. So, and this was like one of the videos I don't know if you can see that I most recently did. And this is what I want to show you when I'm saying. So like you see the caption, I don't know if you can, oh gosh, the glare is so bad, but the caption I put up there. So that's something else too when you're recording your videos. I currently am recording right now on my DJI Pocket Osmo 3. I will have it linked below. Everybody and their mama knows it at this point, but if you don't, I'll have it linked below. It's a very, what's the phrase that people say? it's not a steep learning curve, because 5 years ago when I started my business, I bought a DSLR based on this other yoga teacher online, what she uses. But that yoga teacher was a photographer. So she is well versed in how actual cameras are used. And this is why I said at the beginning of the video, don't be buying all this stuff, because what happened to me 5 years ago, and I'm a completely different person now, but 5 years ago, I got so frustrated with myself, right? And I was like, I can't do this, F it. And I sold it. I sold it so cheap to this guy, I remember, on OfferUp, and he got that camera real quick. I hope he's still using that. But what I'm getting at, I lost my train of thought, but I wanted to show you. So, okay, so I did the zoom effect there, and then I want to show you this other part that I did. Okay, so like this is how I changed the text. So you see, and then it shakes, the type of text that was. So it came across my face, and it's shaky, shaky, shaky. Okay, so that's another feature. Oh, and this is another, when I'm talking about the text, so I use like that kind of text. So that, again, disrupts, it like resets the person's attention span. So those are like the primary features I've been using on Capcut lately. I also like that when you export, so you see here, this in Capcut, it says export. This was, shout out to my friend. Hopefully hold on. I want to show you this. So next to export, there is a thing that says AIHUD. Okay. So that AIHUD, you click it. And when you click it, there are two things. The glare is so terrible, but follow along if you have Capcut. There is the resolution and the frame rate. The resolution and the frame rate are very important when it comes to the quality of your videos. I have had friends who DM me or text me on the side, and they'd be like, how you get it so crisp? Is because, shout out to my friend Brittany, who is actually graphic designer, and she actually recently got her videographer certificate, like through this really cool thing. But anyways, she's the one that was like, do that so it looks crisper. When I tell you, I listen and I do what my friend tells me to do, because she be knowing. So the resolution, she told me to slide it. So it originally stays resolution wise at 1080p. My friend Brittany said put it to 4K. So I put it to 4K. And then the frame rate, I put to 60. And it tells you on there, when you put it, the frame rate all the way to 60, which is the highest, like the FFP, frames per minute, or frames, something like that. It tells you it's a smoother playback. It tells you that. So, and then if I put it to 4K, it's going to tell me that as well. It says restores your video to ultra high definition, but users, I don't know what else it's saying, but the thing with the resolution with 4K that you have to be cautious with is it's dependent on the camera you're using. Okay. So my DJI right now, the setting is 4K 30 frames per minute. All right. Whereas my iPhone, let's look at the settings. And that leads me into the next thing, because I said to you, don't be buying nothing, because what's going to happen, you're going to buy the thing and you're going to overwhelm and you ain't going to do it because you already don't post the content, right? I say things with love. I don't really, a little bit with love, and I'll hold your hand with a tissue. Like, I'm gonna give it to you raw. So with the iPhone settings, there is a certain, and I'm gonna find the lady's video that I recently sent to somebody where she tells you the iPhone settings to use. The newer iPhones, like my iPhone, I've had this iPhone now for about 2 years. I love it. I don't plan on upgrading, and I need to not say that around the phone, because you know how it goes. You be saying these things and the phone don't want to work. But I really like my phone. I have the iPhone 14 Pro, and there are different. I want to share. Here we go. So here we go. This is how I get my camera crisp on my iPhone, because I've even had people like, I'm out with family or something, I'm like, oh, take a picture of us or a video, and they're like, how is your phone so clear? So the first thing is, you always want to wipe your lenses. If you're using the main lens or you're using the front-facing camera, either, and I'm guilty of the front-facing one, wipe it. Like, get a little wipey thing from your sunglasses or whatever and wipe it before you hit record. That's the first thing. After that, I want you to go into settings on your iPhone. Then you're going to go to camera. Then you're going to see all of these settings and you're going to be like, what the heck? These are my settings based on videos I've watched in the past. The video I'm going to drop below, I don't remember if she says these settings, but this is what I have, okay? There was only one thing that I did change that she told me to that I was like, oh, I hadn't done that yet. I forget what it was. Anyways, but record video, have it at 4K at 60 FPS. Okay, frames per second, I believe is what FPS stands for. So this is where if you're using Capcut and you're going back to what I said with the resolution, you can't put your resolution at 4K if your phone is not at 4K, okay? And then my record slow-mo, I don't be using that, so that doesn't matter. My record cinematic is at 1080p at 30 FPS. So going back to CapCut, I would keep my resolution at 1080 and I would keep my frame rate at 30, okay? And natively, CapCut keeps your frame rate at 30. What else do I have? I have a grid. So under composition, I have the grid and the level turned on. This makes, I'm not gonna show because then it will look weird, but it's important when you're recording your videos, especially if you're doing talking head, which sidebar, talking head will position you as a thought leader. People will be like, oh, what does she got to say? Especially if that camera crisp, you look good, people will stop. They'll stop to scroll. And in order to make sure that your head is in frame, you want to make sure that you have the grid and the level. So the grid will make your camera have 9 boxes, and then there's going to be a level. So grid and level, toggle it on. There's going to be a level, and you're going to want to make sure your head is right above the level, and then you're going to want to make sure the level is level. So this makes the frame look crisp and symmetrical. People, like, our human brain likes symmetry. If things don't look symmetrical, your brain, you're gonna keep scrolling. That's what's gonna happen because your brain's like trying to figure out why it doesn't look symmetrical. Okay, so that is editing with CapCut and stuff. We're gonna almost finish this video because it's almost at 20 minutes. But the next app I sometimes use if I feel like it is Edits. Edits is Instagram's CapCut. I don't know how to say that because I was going to say it's Instagram's edit. So again, if you are like, and I should have said this first, but I don't be using edits as much. But if you are new to content creation, I highly suggest just using the Edits app, which is you download it. Like when you go on Instagram and you're making a reel or you're uploading your video from your photos album, it's going to say open in edits. It's super easy. So just click it. It's free. And then you can edit. And it has everything that CapCut has. It almost has everything. Even has sound effects. Like it has everything. And what's actually really cool, which I try my best, but I recently heard this thing I'm going to explain. So what is cool, what's different between CapCut versus Edits is that in Edits, you can tag a previous video that you have done on Instagram or another creator's video. If you're like, oh, I got inspired by Brittany at Be With Brit, and I could tag her video and it'll show Brittany's video as I'm talking, and then you as the user can click it. It's a clickable video that will then take you to Brittany's video, which I really like, especially in this creator world. We need to be acknowledging where we're getting our inspiration from, not just copying people. So I really appreciate that feature. Why I was like, oh my gosh. When another thing that I used to do, and I'm not doing it anymore because another creator, I don't remember their name, but she said, you know how you can, so let me reel it back because maybe you're new to editing overall, but once you start doing content, people are going to ask you questions. And there's a feature when you reply to a comment that says reply with a reel, hide. When you click reply with a reel, you can do a video reply to the person asking the question. Where did you get these earrings? And then you reply with a reel. I got these earrings on Amazon, right? What this creator said though, she was doing that because she was doing this series and the user either deactivated or deleted their Instagram. And because the user that she replied to, and because that one user did that, it deleted like all of her videos from that whole series, because that's how she was connecting it. So I don't do that feature, and I don't suggest you do. I don't do it anymore. Now what I will do, and I saw somebody say this too in that video, I'll screenshot the comment and embed that in, not embed because it's coding language, but I will screenshot the question and I'll put it in my video so it's not attached. But, and you also can link reels too. Anyways, and this is why, and I'm not good with this, but this is why you should save all of your videos onto an external drive. I don't do that, but you should. Okay, I told you the equipment that I use. We're going to wrap up. So I either use my iPhone. I shared with you the certain settings. I told you what kind of iPhone I had. I told you I also, right now at time of recording, I'm using my DJI Pocket Osmo 3 to record. It also came with this mic, really nice. Then another feature I want to share with you all. So when you go in your camera on your iPhone, like you don't have to download any app. I can't show it, but when you press record, you heard the dum, there is a pause button feature on the bottom left. You click that bottom left and it's going to show, I want to try my best to show this to you. I can't show it. It's going to be too weird. Can I show it? But do you see this is Inception. There is this button and you can keep recording. So like what I'm getting at is this. You know how you in like Instagram, TikTok, and other you'll press record, and it will like, so you're like, "Hi everyone, my name is Leslie." You pause and then you say, I want to share with you 3 tips on how you can edit your content with ease. Pause. So you can now do that on your iPhone. And I actually just made a video where I used that. So again, you hit the record button, you say your first 3 seconds, then you press pause, bottom left. And then you would press that pause button then turns into the record button, and you would continue to record and then pause when you have something else. And you would do that. And then when you're done, you would click the record button in the middle to finish the video. That was a learning curve. If you want me to clarify that even more, I can do a whole separate video, but check that feature out. So I'm going to close this video because I gave you a lot of information. If you have any questions in particular of what I said and you want me to clarify, please ask. Like, please ask me, because I don't know what you don't know. And I think like, oh, they know this already, but people don't. And actually makes me happy because you're giving me more content. Because I'd be like racking my head. Today I was like, what am I going to talk about? What I got to do? I got to do my 2 videos a week. I'm actually going to go record my second video. Make sure you liked this video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.